Hello, smart investors. This is Altcoin Apex with you. In today's video, we'll be talking about cryptocurrency market and its correlation with broader market, which is stock, Nasdaq, S&P 500, and so on. So let's start with uh, our analysis with the S&P 500. I want you to pay attention to these two gaps that we have created, and in my opinion, this each gap is has to be filled in the coming days, possibly 3 to 5 days, because in the past, if you look at the past, every time when we created gaps like that, we have filled the gaps within the next few days. It happened here, it happened here, and if you look at the past, it happened many other times as well. This is a daily chart, and I want you to pay attention where we fill the gaps. We didn't fill one gap right here, primarily because RSI momentum was keep on going up, but in these oversold conditions right here, if you look at the RSI momentum is showing very oversold conditions in S&P 500 and Nasdaq. Here, Nasdaq 100. I'm going to remove this path tool and see where is our two gaps are. And in my opinion, these ones will get filled. And each of them, let's see how many percent bounce we will have from this point of view. It's about 5.5 if we go to the first gap, and almost 10% to the second. It's a 9.5% to the second gap. And as you know, Bitcoin and altcoin market follows stock market very closely. Everybody thought it was decoupling, but this recent crash on Sunday and Monday proved that we were still correlated. And if S&P 500 moves up 6% to fill this first gap, let's say, Bitcoin will be moving maybe 3 to 4%, and altcoins will be moving 6 to 8%. So it depends on what happens in these coming 3 to 5 days. In my opinion, we will have a midweek reversal towards the Thursday and Friday. Right now, markets are closed, so when they open, market will attempt to recover and close these gaps. It happened in the past. It will happen again, in my opinion. So now let's go to cryptocurrency market. We will start with Bitcoin dominance chart, and I want to just quickly point out where we're headed. Bitcoin dominance chart, it's looking like, if you guys remember, on my previous videos, I was talking about the swing high of Bitcoin dominance, which reached 64%. And I put a trend line weeks ago that we might retest this trend line. We will interact with it and then get rejected and most likely start forming a top in Bitcoin dominance and start going down. This is showing, it's becoming more evident now, especially if you look at the RSI. We are hitting that overbought levels multiple times, and it's only a matter of time for us to get rejected and go all the way down to below 60%. Then from then onwards, consolidation and another crash, depending on how it's going to move. But our target for sure, it's going to be somewhere 55 line first. I think this is a very likely scenario that Bitcoin dominance will eventually reach 55% first before we go anywhere else, because of this huge area where previously it was supported and pushed Bitcoin dominance upwards. So I think we will retest this zone again. Let me clear up this chart a little bit. Now let's go to altcoin market. We will start with the altcoin king, Ethereum. And as you can see, Ethereum has reached probably a local bottom, in my opinion, because if you look at the RSI right here, on the daily, RSI is already well below 30, and 4 hourly chart is showing also bottoming formations. This is heavily oversold levels. If there was any time to buy altcoins, probably it would be this. And from here, I'm expecting a bounce, at least a relief rally, to see if we can puncture through this 1850 zone, because this is a huge resistance temporarily. And what I've seen on the news is that tariffs is getting close to be on the negotiations with other countries. The US and other countries are reaching a point where other country leaders like Cambodia, Vietnam, Singapore, and a couple of other Asian countries, Taiwan, for example, they have been reaching out to President Donald Trump to talk about tariffs. And those countries actually removed their tariffs against the US, and they are expecting US to at least remove the reciprocal tariffs also. So that could be a very positive news for the market, and then we might have a very quick sharp bounce. Let's assume finding a bottom in this area. We should have something like this towards this resistance zone, which is 1850 line. It's not going to be easy to puncture through this. We will have interactions. Then we will be breaking it through if we can hold above 21 SMA, which is 21 SMA will be moving as well, all the way to 1800 zone by that time. Then we need to hold it as a support. I think it's coming. Uh, Most of the altcoins are showing bottoming formation, just because looking at the RSI, S&P 500, and Nasdaq, as I showed you earlier with the gaps. So those are going to get filled. Now I want to take a look at ICP chart very quick. ICP, you can see RSI is well below 30 on the 4 hourly and well below 30 on the daily. It is actually at 28 now. So my trend lines are still standing. I'm waiting for this to break with conviction, and the next resistance zone will be, that's an immediate resistance zone, will be here, which is at $6, maximum at 6.2, and then the next one will be at 6.9. This could be in the very near future. I say it would be May, somewhere about mid-May to towards the end of May. Why? Primarily, Ethereum will lead the market, in my opinion. This is not a financial advice, but what I see is that Fidelity and other institutions, they'll be building their stable coins and real-world assets on Ethereum blockchain. And right now, people don't realize it, but Ethereum is going to be leading the market, and we will have some kind of a very sharp bounce to break this trend line that I have, this one. So once we pass this 1800 zone, I think everything will follow Ethereum. Some might outperform Ethereum, which in the past I've seen Algorand outperforming Ethereum, and I was arbitraging between Algorand and Ethereum to make accumulate more Ethereum. Every time when Algorand pumps, I would sell my bags, buy back Ethereum, much more in terms of token value, and then when Ethereum catches up, I would sell it, get back into Algorand while Algorand is having a pullback. So you can arbitrage to increase your holdings. That is one way. But right now, most of the altcoins are looking like they are bottoming. And considering that stock market is forming these gaps, they will be also bouncing. So Ethereum dominance. Let's have a look at Ethereum dominance. It used to be 20%, then we went to 8%, now sitting at 7.74% and at the heavily oversold levels. So I'm expecting in the immediate short term, somewhere between 3 to 5 days, we will be getting a bounce. In any case, stay safe out there. I hope I didn't take too much of your time. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.